HamRadioConcepts. The place to come for amateur radio videos.
Hello guys, welcome back. Video here today on powering your ham gear and other stuff out in the field on battery power. Specifically using something from Bioenno Power. Now I'm a little late to the Bioenno Power inventory here, although I've known for them for a little while now. And last year, Bioenno did a presentation to our local Vero Beach Amateur Radio Club and described what makes these things tick and their technology behind these batteries. It really was informative. So I want to talk today about my power option. Somebody commented in the last video and they said, great, I want to know about powering my gear out in the field, because what I did back in the day, and what a lot of people still do, is they use something like this old lead acid battery. It's a lot heavier and toxic to the environment if opened, and just old school. You know, these are widely available on the internet. They're cheap. You can find them in battery backups and emergency lights and stuff like that, but there's better options out there, and I'll tell you why. That's what I used to use in the field, was the lead acid treatment. So Bioenno Power, they have a wide selection of stuff. We'll show you that site in a minute so you can see all the options, because this one right here is the 12 volt 12 amp hour BLF 1212A. Not the biggest, but not the smallest. And John KM4MCK has the 30 amp version, and he said, Eric, why did you get the 12 amp hour? Well, it depends on what you're going to need out in the field, what you plan on drawing on it, and frankly, I can manage with my radio and everything with this battery right here in the field, and it doesn't take up too much weight or size or space in my Go Kit. This battery right here weighs 3.3 pounds, and actually this lead acid one weighs about 5 pounds. So a little bit heavier with less current, or a little bit lighter with more current. Okay, this battery right here will give you a 20 amp max continuous discharge current and a 2-second peak at up to 40 amps before it goes into protect mode. So if you have something that's, because these are used not only in ham radio. In fact, I think ham radio use was the last function that picked up on these things. These were used for camera systems, for portable or solar backup, all kinds of stuff. I think ham radio was the last addition to the real demand for these batteries. But if you have something that has a peak, jump in spike in current, this will handle up to 40 amps now for 2 seconds, and there are bigger models that handle more. So my ICOM 706 will draw 20 plus amps at full duty cycle. So I could run almost 100 watts, or probably 100 watts with this at not full duty cycle, and maintain, some communications on this. Theoretically, or in actuality, I'm probably going to be running at about 30 to 50 watts. I don't need to run 100 watts, and I want to save my battery. So I'll show you the options on charging this here shortly with the solar. So this battery here is composed of lithium iron phosphate. And the way that works, lithium iron phosphate gives you full output current and voltage to the last minute before it shuts down. And also, this battery right here is designed of 4 individual cells at roughly 3.2 volts, which give you, those are in series, which give you a 12.8 volt rough nominal voltage output on this. So with that, it does take a different charging method other than a lead acid battery. So the charging is actually done, the magic is done inside the battery. There's a PCB in here, which will handle the cell balancing, the charging, the overcharge protection, the overcurrent protection, and such. So on here, what you have are your output, which is factory with a Anderson power pole on here. And you may already have stuff with Anderson power pole, or you may not. But the manufacturer, Bioenno, does say they won't void the warranty from you cutting these leads off and putting your own connectors on here. I will say this. Don't cut this off and just put ring terminals on where they can be clacking together and shorting out. That'd be bad news, okay? So what I would do is leave this on and get another, Anderson to plug onto here to adapt to what you need. That's very easily done. And also you have your input for charging. Now, the manufacturer also recommends not running these in parallel. There is a way of doing that, but I would not do it. Okay, and there's a reason for that I won't get into. So choose the battery that will be adequate for your application. Okay. Now with the charging, like I said, the adapter that comes with this is a AC/DC wall adapter that will plug into here with an LED on it, and it provides power, and the PCB inside will actually handle the charging of the balancing of the cells. So each cell is balanced perfectly for a perfect output, overcharge, stuff like that. In the old days, people building their batteries, people have constructed lithium iron phosphate cells of their own, buying the raw cells and putting them together. And if you use a charger not designed for lithium iron phosphate, you'll ruin it, because a regular lead acid battery charger for your car is not going to balance the cells and do all that. So make sure you use the charger for this, okay? Now, so already we have advantages. A lighter weight, a more stable output current and voltage until the last minute, and internal charging and regulation and protection in the battery. Great news. Something like this lead acid I referred to, if you short those terminals out, it's going to explode or burn down or something. I mean, there's no protection. There's no charging method inside here. That's all just a battery. It outputs, up here, and it's up to you to maintain it. And typically when these things go dead and they go flat all the way and they stay flat, they don't like to come back to a full charge sometimes, most of the time. So these right here are not good. That's why they make deep cell batteries or deep cycle batteries. These are not made to drain down to zero, left sit, and then charge back up. They just won't be the same. The lithium iron phosphate will, in fact, handle that. So if you're out in the field and you use it to the last bit of energy, no problem. Charge it back up. It'll balance it all out and make sure it's a-okay. So running something like this, and I'll show you the site again with the higher output batteries that they have. Okay. But I also picked up with this. I bought this directly from Bioenno Power, and the link is in the description. It did come with the manuals and stuff, and the manuals are available online. There are other places you can buy these now, so if you have a favorite store, you can do that. I bought it directly from Bioenno. Now I did pick up something else, and this is from Bioenno Power as well. This is their solar charge controller. Now you may be looking at this and say, oh, I saw one of those on eBay or Amazon from China for $10. Well, beware that this is specifically designed for this battery, and it tells you right here, specifically for lithium iron phosphate batteries only, because it handles a constant voltage, constant current, charging capabilities in that. What you would ideally do, okay, what I plan on doing, is using my solar panel attached to the first two screws here. This is all in the manual. Your solar input is going to go here. Now this will handle 12 to 24 volts. My solar cell is 18 volt open circuit. So what it's going to do is it's going to take the input here from the solar, and the second set of screws here in the middle is for your battery. Now if you look at this thing, you do have a third output here for your load. The camera keeps dimming this. I have 8 lights on this thing and the camera's making it dark. You see down here? The light bulb indicates load. Now it's not recommended to run your load off of the solar controller. You can ignore that. You want to have your solar going into here and and this going to your battery. That's going to charge your battery with solar, okay? And then at the same time, you can output to your devices from the output. So you have your solar going into the battery. At the same time, you have your your output here. Okay, you want to have your load directly off of the battery, not off of the load on the, even though this says it will handle 20 amps, if you get a surge more than 20 amps or you're having, constant peak pulses, this is going to damage, and then you're stuck out in the field with no way to charge your battery because you fried this. Okay, so, and this does also have a USB output on it. The screen on here will tell you usage factors on here, like the voltage of your battery, the charging state of your solar panel, the voltage coming in. So it'll tell you have X amount of volts coming in on solar, your battery is charging, the voltage of the battery is X amount, and ignore the light bulb for the load on the screen. And this keeps the fluctuating up and down of the solar panel constant for the charging of your batteries so that you have an optimal charge. So with something like this, and depending on the size of your solar panel, you have to make sure that your solar panel is adequate enough to charge, and to charge enough. I mean, if you wanted to never run out of power, you'd have to have more solar than you're actually using from your load. So this battery charger or solar controller right here is a big deal to have for this type of battery. Let me show you their site real quick and show you the other options of what they have. And in the future, the videos we'll have when we're running on solar power, this is what we'll be using. The Bioenno and the solar charge controller being charged by the unlimited source of power from our sun. So let's take a look at the site here, because there's a lot to learn on the site. Now, Bioenno Power is not a ham radio store. They are a manufacturer of high quality batteries that also cater to ham radio. So when you look at their main page, you'll see batteries for all kinds of things. RC cars, drones, camera systems, stuff like that. What you should do is go up here to this section here and come down to commercial equipment ham radio. And now you'll see they have a page with some interesting information for battery compatibility charts for different radios based on the current drain and such. So you might want to read a lot about this. And also batteries that are specifically mentioned in those lists for ham radio. Now on this list, there's 2 pages here. On here you'll see this is my battery here, the 12 volt, 12 amp hour, 1212A. Okay? And it gives you an option, battery only or battery and charger. Just do yourself a favor and get the charger for an extra $12, because I have chargers in my closet that would probably fit this. But, if you use the wrong charger or a charger that's not functioning right or something, you don't want to have problems and blame it on the battery. So just do yourself a favor and get the charger supported by them so they can warranty it. Okay? And it gives you all the specs on here that I mentioned. 20 amp discharge current, peak pulse, 40 amps for 2 seconds. Max delivered to load. It shows you all this. Now, what John has the, let's go down here, John MCK in the video with the outdoors. He likes to go out with his Bioenno, and he has what I think is the 30 amp hour. I think it's this one. Might be this one. The 30 amp hour, that's a big boy. That thing will run quite a load for quite a long time. All right. And so that's a peak discharge of 60 amps. So you could actually run a couple radios at once on a battery like this. All right. So very, a great deal. Let's look on this chart here for a minute. The Asun icon. Let's see if my 706 is on here. I don't see this. Hey, what's wrong with the 706? Look at the 718 draws 20 amps at transmit. They recommend this 1212A. So, 1212 is actually will run the 7. Look at that. I can run my 7300 on this, but probably a longer run time at the higher, rate battery here. But I can actually use that for my 7300. That little battery will power my 7300 at full transmit. That is pretty cool. So read on their charts here to learn more, because I can't answer all your questions. I'm not the smartest guy here. These guys make them, so they're the ones that are smart. Now look at this. These are deep cycle batteries for extended continuous use, not to be confused with high rate batteries which are used for starter applications. Oh my gosh. Guess what I'm getting for my jet ski? Probably this one right here. There's a jet ski battery for me right there. Actually, here. There we go. Starter batteries. There we go. That's more like it. I can get one for my jet ski. Looks probably about this one right here. And I bet you that would do a lot better than, and that's the same price as the one I paid for at Walmart. I might as well have got that. And they do have a charger for it also. So pretty cool stuff. More than 2,000 to 3,000 times the charging and discharging cycles and an outstanding 7 to 10 year service life. Oh yeah, that's what I'm buying because I need another one for my second jet ski. So that's what I'm definitely buying is one of these for the same price as one at Walmart for sure. And I don't have to put the acid in it. The one at Walmart, I got to put acid in it and watch it don't spill it and charge it for 8 hours. And with the acid, top it off. That's a lot better. So those who have lawnmowers, stuff like that, man, they even got batteries for that. So really cool stuff. And what I am going to get, let's see, where is it? We'll go up here to, oh, here's the charger controller for the solar. There's the one I have here, $49. And this one gives you all the specs here. And take note, look right here. For any solar setup in which you're using a panel and a battery or load is absolutely necessary. Do not plug a panel directly into your battery. You got to have something in between that regulates which direction the voltage is going for charging and, how to charge it. You can't just plug it right onto the battery. Now, those things you see on eBay that have the alligator clips and they say throw it in your dashboard, you can charge your car battery, trickle charge it. Those have some sort of circuitry inside. So there's always circuitry somewhere. You got to have a charge controller. And there are better ones for those who want to use MPPT for following the sun as it goes across and all that. You can buy that. So one more thing here that I want to get, the foldable solar panel. Now, what I have from Amazon, which I put in the last video, is one like this. Although the one Bioenno has does not have 12 volt output. This only has a 5 volt USB output. But I see they do have this one here, which I glanced over before, which is under upon request, a 28 watt, which is a little bit more than mine, with the 12 volt output that I can put right into my solar charge controller. And something that this has that mine doesn't have is you can chain two of these together the way they're designed. Can't do that with mine. So I'll be getting one of these here soon because I can throw two in, fit it in my Go kit. I could chain them together and have, 56 watts? And that would be a lot better, so I could charge my battery and keep it, totally charged, and it'll run all night long. So definitely bioennopower.com. Check them out. That's where I got mine. And tell them I sent you. Tell them, hey, you saw it on HamRadioConcepts, and make them see, wow, that was really cool. Maybe I'll get some other stuff. So anyways, there you go. I know I met Kevin at the. I didn't meet him, but I saw at the presentation on the web. Kevin was the one giving us the presentation over the internet, and really nice guy. So there you go. And for the record, there's a lot of copycats out there. In fact, I can't even find half of them that were on here that looked just like a Bioenno battery with the blue heat shrink and stuff, but clearly is not. And 12 volt 50 amp hour in this little battery, there's no way. I mean, they exaggerate these things. Don't put your money into a China battery. And again, I can't find a lot of them that were on here. They looked identical, but they were claiming ridiculous, outlandish numbers with just as much money or more. So beware and buy genuine, because Bioenno gives you their name on it. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Don't fall for Wish.com or Alibaba and get one that's wrapped in blue. That doesn't mean it's an authentic battery. And for those wondering about the solar panel, again, this one I got on Amazon. The link is in the description for this. It is an off-brand, and quite frankly, I can't even find this anymore. I don't know what happened, but I found another one that's similar to this. And the reason I got this was at the time the Bioenno battery did not have, or the Bioenno solar panel that they have did not have a 12 volt output. So with this one here, what I do, you see that 12 volt barrel connector there. I plug in here, okay? And this is going to be at full sunlight, full unobstructed sunlight up to 18 volts. That's going to go to the solar input on the charger. I stripped these back. I was playing with it. You know, make those nice and neat, put them in there, and that's going to, you know, power the solar charge controller. And then output from here to the battery charging cable in right here. Okay, so I do want to get, though, I want to replace this with the Bioenno version, the larger one that they have that's by request. I guess I'll have to email them and ask them, what do I got to do to get one? Anyways, so Bioenno power. I hope you've learned a lot from this video, or at least saw more about this company. Tell them you saw it here. Maybe they'll let me check out some other things. And until then, when I'm out in the field, I'll brief this again and let you know how long it actually lasts and what the status is of this, and show you the solar charge controller in action with sunlight. 7-3, thanks for watching. You guys are amazing. Thumbs up for the effort and leave a comment below. 7-3 from KJ4YZI.